Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United Transfer News Daily, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. Hello and welcome to a day where we're going to actually sign somebody. Fred, at some point today, we will be going live with the official announcement of Fred. We'll be looking at what that means to United, where he's going to fit in, and all that jazz. But, quite rare that United are definitely going to sign a player today. Dalot probably later in the week, maybe even tomorrow, but Fred definitely today. So we're going to look at today where United go from here. Some bits in the news, some big news about Sandro, actually. Good news about him. But let's talk about Socrates, first of all. Fellaini as well. But Socrates is going to go to Arsenal. We know that. We've known that for a long time. We're not even Arsenal fans. But very interesting comments to just a little bit of funny story. Talk about Socrates' dad, who said that he's chosen Arsenal over Manchester United. You know what that's like? It's like, when you're really, really hungry. You're starving hungry. You're walking past Burger King and the owner walks out with a big, juicy Whopper. Now, unless you're vegetarian, you're not going to go for this. It's a lovely sandwich with no meat in it if you're vegetarian. If you aren't vegetarian, I'm getting myself. At the end of the day, they come out with some really good food from Burger King and you're starving. And it's like saying, no, I don't want that. I've just seen a half-eaten egg mayonnaise sandwich that looks like it's been in the sun all day. I'm going to go and have that instead of your glorious food there. That's like picking Arsenal, the egg mayonnaise sandwich, over the beautiful food at Manchester United. It's nonsense. And I tell you what, he's probably been given a few quid to say that, hasn't he? What nonsense. We don't want Socrates anyway. Let Arsenal have him. And he never chose us over him. Them over his. Anyway, let's just talk about Fellaini very quickly as well. It really does look like that Arsenal want Fellaini. I was I was trying to get DT to come on actually today at some point. Let's see if that happens, because really want to see what Arsenal fans think. I presume they're in a meltdown about it, even though I actually think Emery's probably being quite clever about it, because Arsenal are a team that's never going to win the league. Their ceiling is going to be fourth place, and how wise it is of this new manager to actually go and get a plan B or a plan C for free. All you're going to do is pay his wages, Premier League proven, stick him on your bench, and in the last 10-15 minutes, if you need to go for something, Fellaini can offer you something. And also, in training, he'll toughen up some of your jelly babies who've got no spine. So I think, actually, for Arsenal, it's not a bad thing. But the arrogance of Arsenal, thinking that they can go and get bloody Ousmane Dembele and people like that instead, I mean, it's funny. But Italian paper Calcio Mercato were talking about it, saying that Arsenal are in advanced talks for him. As I said yesterday, Emery was manager of PSG when they were linked to Fellaini a couple of months ago. He goes to Arsenal, he's linked again. I'll be surprised, very surprised if he goes to Arsenal. But as long as he leaves United, which I think he's going to, I think that's all we can ask. And, as I said, it's not a malice thing. I'd be very excited to see Fellaini go after all these years. Hope it happens. But let me just talk about Alex Sandro. I'll bring Alex Sandro. I'm going back to front here. Alex Sandro, Fabrizio Romano on Twitter, who is, I think he's Sky Italia, but he's certainly linked to Di Marzio. He came out late last night, probably around 11 o'clock actually, put a tweet out. And he's been quite accurate over the last couple of weeks with United. And he came out and said no talks between Manchester United and no bid from Manchester United in relation to Alex Sandro at the moment. Let's see what next week brings. Now, everyone sort of like jumped on that as a negative because there's no bid and there's no talks. But I liked the let's see what next week brings. That's what I think, because Alex Sandro's not going to the World Cup. He's not going to the World Cup. So, I don't think he's happy at Juventus. I don't know the guy, but from his performances in Serie A this season, comparable to the two previous years, he looks like he wanted to go last year, and he looks like he's been made to stay a year. And I think he wants to go. I think he wants to change. He's winning the title every year at Juventus. So I think there's time for United to do that deal. Whereas with Fred, they've got to get it done before the World Cup. And let's not forget, United are traditionally, under Woodward especially, but even before Woodward, quite slow at doing deals. So we're working on two deals at the moment, Dalot and Fred. To be doing Sandro and another one at the same time, you've got to shade it out over the season, over the off season. So I'm still confident about Sandro. I thought we might get Sandro done first, and there was some talk about that maybe 3 weeks ago. But whatever order it gets in done is fine. And that just makes me, before we come on to Pogba as well, because Pogba's hit back at the critics. Let me just say about the transfer business that we've done so far. I must just say, Darmian and Fellaini out, Dalot and Fred in, that's good. That's good, everybody. Come on, give me a high five. Let's have some of that. That is good. The summer transfer window is only just beginning. The World Cup hasn't even started. Then we've got the US tour after that. Before we even start thinking about playing games ourselves. So, look, it can go a lot worse, or it can get even better. And I think Fred, Delat, for Darmian and Fellaini, straight away, that's another big positive stride. And we'd take that. I mean, obviously we need more. And maybe there'll be more going out the door. Please not Martial. Please not Shaw. But Fellaini and Darmian go. Blind next. Maybe bring another centre back in. But it's a good start. It is a good start. And I just want to say that. It's a good start. So I believe it. And I hope a lot of you do as well. Anyway, let's talk about Paul Pogba. Now, I'm going to read this out. I'm going to stay positive with this. Paul Pogba's basically come out and said that, everyone's entitled to their opinion. If people don't love me, that's fine. I've won playing the way I play. And if critics have a problem with that, then, I've won playing this way. And I think he's sort of talking about this, Pogba's had a few critics this season. I think we've been critical about it as well on the United Stand as viewers and as presenters. And I'm a big fan of Pogba, but I do find his style a bit languid and lazy. But he's right, he has won with that style, and I think that's what he's saying. People can say, oh, I'm happy on the pitch and I need a little bit of grit and all that. People can say I look like I'm not moving around as quick as maybe other players, but I'm happy with what I do, and my not everybody's opinions matters. My family support me, and that's what matters. And I do back Pogba on that. I think Pogba. I don't think anybody's asking him to change his style of play. I think a lot of people. I think Brian Robson said it as well. He needs to understand that it's not just a game. It's playing for Manchester United. It's your job. You've got to give a little bit more, and I think Mourinho is the perfect person to get him to do that. But his style of play being languid and looking lazy, I agree with Pogba on that. That's just the way he moves. That's his physique, and he has done very good things playing that way. I just think he needs a little bit more grit in him. But actually, this Pogba hit back, if you want to call it that, it's not really to do with his season at Manchester United. There's been a recent poll in France, and there was talk of him being booed at the weekend, but there's been a recent poll in France where the majority didn't want Pogba playing in the French first team. He's getting a lot of stick that I don't understand, and maybe in the people in the comments, if you've got any French connections, I'm not talking about the clothing brand, about why the French people feel like that about Pogba. I don't know. I know at United he's become, I wouldn't even call him divisive. I think there's people at United who want more from him. There's a few, minority I think, who would sell him, but the vast majority back Pogba and want him to do well. But in France, it's weird that you've done a poll before a World Cup and the majority don't want Pogba in it. It is weird. So I think that's where Pogba's comments are coming from, really. He's sort of like, I've got confidence in myself, which is very important that he's come out with those. I believe in myself. That's a sort of Sir Alex Ferguson mentality anyway, when the critics are jumping round you, close those doors, siege mentality. So I'm all for Pogba on that. I'm happy with Pogba about that. I think that's really good. So today will be the day for Fred. So keep your eye on the United Stand. We'll go live as soon as it's official. Looking forward to getting that done and dusted. We've known for a while, of course we have. I know apparently there are some people who still think that it won't happen. But, as I've said before, when it's raining outside, I don't need to turn the weather on to find out what the weather is. It's been obvious for quite a while that he's going to sign. Damarcio, the man, said he was going to sign. And I just want to say on this, how funny is it? I mean, I'm not going to hold up Damarcio as the best, because I do like Damarcio. He's good, but there's some other good sources out there who will hopefully bring out stuff during the summer. But how accurate is he? Where is he getting his information? Because not only did he say it's a done deal, which I felt it was a done deal, but last night he said, done deal, he'll sign tomorrow. And it was only 6 o'clock. And many of us were expecting 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock United Stand go live, but Manchester United official account saying deal done. Damarcio at 6 o'clock with total conviction says it'll happen tomorrow. And you're like, it's not going to happen tonight anymore, is it? Even though there's hours for it to happen, it's not going to happen. So where does he get that from? And the great thing about Damarcio and some of these journalists as well, Damarcio is an Italian journalist. Fred's playing for Shakhtar Donetsk, coming to Manchester United. So it's not always the Italian connection players that he gets. We've had the Italian connection, the French connection. Just need the Spanish connection now. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. Feeling positive today, as I said. I agree with Pogba what he said. I think there's some positivity in that Sandro thing. It's just not going to happen at the moment. I think Darmian and Fellaini for Fred and Dalot is great. A lot younger as well. Dalot's one for the future. Fred's still young, 25. Lots to be positive about. And Fred's going to be done today. So get your comments in below. What I wanted to leave for you to shut me up was where next? What do you want to see next over these next coming weeks? Looks like Fellaini and Darmian are gone. Looks like we're getting Fred and Dalot this week. What's next? How many more next? How many in, how many out? Get your comments in below. Let's see where we're at as we move into June. Thanks for watching. Drop a like on the video and I'll speak to you all very soon. At some point today, we'll be going live with Fred, official Fred the Red.